Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So just saw Rob Art's tweet here from this morning, and I thought it was very apropos. Altcoin maximalist rooting for BTC to die. It won't be number one forever, but if BTC dies, it will be very bad for the crypto ecosystem, and your alt will probably die and never recover too. For now, crypto is measured in Bitcoin success. And this is unfortunately the crypto atmosphere we live in at the moment. We're all kind of dictated by Bitcoin success. And Rob Art, who is a crypto investor, is talking about this on Twitter. Until all the altcoins break away from Bitcoin, we are at its mercy. And so this article was from a few days ago. So NYSE owner, that's a New York Stock Exchange owner, Bakkt is our moonshot Bitcoin bet. Let me read you a little bit of this here. Bitcoin trading platform Bakkt is a moonshot bet for Intercontinental Exchange, the parent company of the New York Stock Exchange. That's the assessment of NYSE chairman Jeff Sprecher, who's also the CEO of ICE. While its launch has been delayed several times, Sprecher is optimistic that Bakkt will be worth the investment that ICE is making to nurture it. Sprecher made the remarks during a February 8th conference call to discuss ICE's fourth quarter earnings. And so, guys, ICE is the institutional gateway for big money, institutional money to come into cryptocurrency. And what they're stating here is essentially that, this will be the moonshot. This will be the big bet on Bitcoin. Once this happens, once regulations go through, and it mentions somewhere in this article that they have been delayed several times. And the reason for that is the government shutdown in the USA. And so once they can get those regulations passed and Bakkt can finally launch, then we will see some real movement. Just wanted to read you guys a little bit down here. Despite the protracted crypto winter, Sprecher says there is tremendous corporate interest in the forthcoming cryptocurrency exchange. That infrastructure has attracted a lot of very, very interesting companies that have come, some that have invested in Bakkt, some are just working with Bakkt to try to tap into that infrastructure for some new use cases that will involve blockchain and digital assets. Obviously, we've announced our work with Starbucks and Microsoft. We have very, very large retail franchises that we hope will be brought into that ecosystem and could create a very, very valuable company out of that initiative if our plan plays out. And so Sprecher also says, Bitcoin is here to stay. And so this is the beginning of regulating a new asset class. They're taking a big bet on Bitcoin. And once that money flows into Bakkt, institutional dollars, millions upon millions of dollars, guys, they are in fact stating this is our moonshot Bitcoin bet. And so going back to Rob Art's tweet here, Bitcoin is the heart of the crypto market right now. We measure every other coin's success in terms of how Bitcoin moves right now. Okay, XRP is a bit of a different beast. The good thing about XRP investors is that we have the other thing going on there. We have the real world utility. We have Ripple behind the coin. We have all that other great stuff that could one day see XRP break away from Bitcoin and march to the beat of its own drum. But for now, we're heavily reliant on Bitcoin. Saw this other tweet here on Twitter that is by XRP Euphoria. And the Twitter handle is at Andrew P478093996. After encouraging my colleague to look into XRP, he decided to sell his Harley to buy some, and in his words, get a nicer one when XRP rises. I didn't recommend he do that, but once the eyes are open, there's no closing them again. His name is Jesse. Will you give him a thumbs up? Well, you know what? I don't want to judge people on what they want to spend their money on. If he wants a Harley, a nicer Harley, good for Jesse. I don't know if you guys remember, if you followed me for this long, but I did a video 7 months back, and it was called I Want to Buy More Ripple XRP, but I Can't Afford It. And in that video, I gave some ideas on what you could do to buy more XRP. Guys, I'm going to put it up here in the top right corner of this video if you want to watch that video. But I'm going to also kind of give you a bit of a snapshot of how XRP can work for Andrew's friend Jesse here with regards to Harley Davidsons. And so this is just eBay, okay? I just went on eBay and took a look at some, Harley Davidsons. Just looked up Harley Davidson and saw, somebody's pre-owned Harley going for $18,900. And so I thought I'd do a little bit of math on that. I thought to myself, well, you know, if he sells his Harley, let's just say, for the sake of argument, he sells his Harley for $18,900. And right now, XRP is hovering around 30 cents per XRP. He can get approximately 63,000 XRP. Now, let's say he wanted to buy a nicer Harley, this one down here at 56.6, roughly. So let's say 57,000. What would XRP have to rise to in order for his 63,000 XRP to make his goal of $57,000? Now, of course, you know, everybody's going to be different. Some people might want to hold out longer, but realistically, all Jesse needs to see is an XRP worth about 90 cents, 0.904 cents. And so, you know, we've seen price rises make that in a couple of days. Jesse could realistically buy XRP today, and in 2-3 days, buy an upgraded model Harley Davidson worth 3 times as much, essentially. So, you know, when I see tweets like this, and you know, everybody's got their own goals. Everybody has their own ideas of how they want to spend their money once they've made more money in investments. And so XRP, just the potential there is so great. We already saw XRP rise to 79 cents back at the end of September, just off pure spec of XRapid news. You know, if you bought at 25 cents, sold at 75 cents, let's say, there could have been, depending on how much money you put in, you could have done exactly what Jesse dreams of doing, selling his current Harley Davidson and buying a new one. And so just to bookend this with another Rob Art tweet, guys, XRP and BTC will eventually take off so hard, you will find it hard to breathe and your hands will start shaking as you sweat. Save this post to remind yourself to start taking profits little by little when you see your life being changed forever on the screen. And so this is very, very sage advice here from Rob Art. Guys, I am not a financial advisor by any means, but you should really take a look at this and think hard, you know. Don't wait for XRP to moon to that magic number. Take profits little by little, and I think that's the key. When you start to see your life being changed forever on the screen, that's when you know you probably should take profits. You know, if turning 20,000 into 60,000 isn't life-altering enough for you, then maybe that's not where you take out profits. But realistically, you know, when you start to see your life change on the screen, that is probably a very good sign to take profits. It's always good to have a plan when trading, not just XRP, but any asset. Another thing, guys, I'm really creeping closer to that 16,000 subs. Got to hit 16K by February 28th. On February 28th, I will be giving away a Ledger Nano S. All you have to do is comment on February 28th's video, and you could be the lucky winner. But I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.